touch is basically just trying to run over him.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to look at one
Probably.
thing.
There is page 155. It's testos of skill.
Right. So if you're using the skill running, then what skill is he using? Probably not to be taken by surprise would obviously be observation.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm kind of interrupting his
Right.
his thing.
So I think that's pretty much where we're at with this. So effectively speaking, this is whether you can get away.
Yes.
Just in a very basic, is he able to take action as you run? So the first thing you do, right? The first thing you do is simply roll your skill.
Okay, so I don't have running, and I'm just looking at the description, and I don't know if it would actually be rolled in this context. I think it's actually not something that you can fail. I don't think you can fail to run.
Okay.
So it might not be the right skill.
So maybe rolling just agility is the right thing to do.
Okay.
Now, that's a little tricky because I might roll your agility, which is a direct percentage.
Right.
And technically, I should probably pick an attribute of his to roll against. Although, in his case, there is a skill that makes a lot of sense, which happens to be observation.
Right.
So, can you do a skill versus an attribute? Doesn't seem very fair because all the skills are fractions of attributes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I'm just thinking that maybe the thing to do is for me to pick an attribute of his, and do it that way. So treating
I think that makes sense.
So in that case, it would either be it probably would just have to be intelligence.
Yeah,
I think,
that makes sense.
It's just is he quick enough mentally to unless you want to leave it to luck and be fate, but I don't think so. So let's see. Let me quickly get his intelligence up here. Dusters are not okay. Well, let's do it. What do you have?
Okay. All right. So let me see. I roll a 25, and my agility is a 52. So I believe that means
you have succeeded
by 27. Yeah, right. 27.
And if I go to this portion here, back to that 155, to our arm wrestle page, right? So if your roll was right, you'll get a positive number, and then the person with the highest final score wins. His intelligence is 55, and I rolled a 32, which puts me at a 23, and I think you got a what, 30 something?
I got 27.
23. So you barely get a better score than he does.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So you're actually able to get a running start just before he's able to react. Now,
awesome. Okay.
I am debating on whether to have a whole tribe or, I have to think about what he can do about this. You may not like it. There are several things he can do that involve touching you. So that's not the case. You actually got some distance by definition by that rule.
Right.
Okay. By the results of that roll, you got some distance. Otherwise, I would have said that he attacked you with his decay touch. He can decay you where you stand, or cage your soul, and all that cool shit that I'm looking forward to him doing to you. But since you basically started running in a spray of sand, right? Then that means that he will have to use different means. I don't know if we want to resolve that tonight.
looking at the clock and my curfew is
Yeah.
very, very
Yeah, I think
close.
so.
He can do
But-
that to Ahmed, though.
Yeah, that's no. I used Akhmev basic. Oh, you know what? That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah, Ahmed should probably.
He wants to
Yeah,
see the Rock
Poor guy.
action.
Look what you're making. Look what you're doing to these poor people.
Sorry.
Okay, Akhmev is right here. I've got his sheet. So let's resolve that, because that could be kind of interesting. Poor Akhmev.
Yeah, I'm feeling sorry for him.
I'm sorry.
Well, let's see if he gets...
I mean,
Here he is.
she at least had seen me
Right.
But this character is so
doing
I love to see him in
combat.
action.
She should know
I
better
do-
than to run.
I do hope he does not die, but it would be. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, well, he is a hunter, and he is right here in his... Oh, he's really agile, so let's see if he
Okay.
gets... Go ahead and roll percentile dice. He's way more agile than you are, so...
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll his dice for him.
Here. Yeah. He got 59.
59...
Not so good.
No, 59, but 86 minus 59 is...
Oh wow.
Right.
86.
Yeah, 86 minus 59, I think, is still a 27, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So he got the same result you did.
Number.
Yeah. So he
Oh my God,
also...
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were holding hands when you ran away.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Aw.
And I want to say, even though it might not make the most sense,
And I don't get to
largely,
decay. I don't get to
think-
soul cage anybody.
That's always how I feel as a GM.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do something, yeah. But it might not make the most sense logically, but I think that we're running, because I was picturing us right at the end of this graveyard thing, and I think we're running, instead of around it, I think we're running straight down into it and through
Ooh.
it, trying to get the hell out. Yeah. Which I thought could be kind of cool. Maybe it's a little author stancy, but yeah, I
It's
want
your
that.
choice. Hey, you're playing your character. If you want them to go that
Yeah,
way,
that's
you can
what-
go. So,
That's because I want. I don't think that's how we necessarily want, but that's what I want to happen.
there is no distinction between the two. You have played Vefselk so viscerally all the way through that I have no doubt that she wants what you want. So,
yes, yes.
She's in a full-blown panic.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she is. She is.
Okay.
She's like, ugh.
Well, in that case, I'm just going to tell you what happens to you.
Okay, awesome. Yes.
And so it's going to... Yeah, geez. Where to start? Okay. Well, basically, you will not take much... Yeah, range, self-duration, 1 minute. Okay. Oh, 100-foot radius. Oh, yeah, no problem. 100-foot radius from him is no problem in this case, to just reach down
Oh,
toward
yeah.
the pit and blast into it.
yeah.
For the effect of a minor miracle of hurricane.
Okay. Oh my
Right.
god. Okay.
And so that'll blast you off your feet, and it will do a minimum amount of damage per round, but for a whole minute.
Oh wow.
okay.
Right. So that's like 6 rounds, I think. Right.
Right, but that's 6d4 points of damage. So let's go ahead and
Ooh.
do this.
Yes. Oh my god.
Oh, the light's no good for reading my d4s. Oh, well, that's too bad. One of them was a 4. So 6 plus... 12 total.
Okay.
And then, wait, we have the last sit, so it's 14 plus 4, 18 life points for you over the
Okay.
course of the next minute.
Okay.
And while I guess technically I should be asking you what you're trying to do round by round, well, I'm sorry, you're in a hurricane, so it doesn't really matter what you're
Mhm.
trying to do round to round. So,
Yeah.
and you're in considering that you're in that enclosed area, the force of the hurricane will only be more concentrated. So I'm just going to rule like climbing up out of there, forget it.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Now,
That
as far
makes
as
sense.
burrowing into the ground or change, you'd have to take a full round to change in the first
Mhm.
place. And then second, don't forget, this is sacred territory to the dead. There's going to be
Yeah.
problems with burrowing into that earth,
Yes, right. Oh my god.
right?
Okay.
So ultimately, what's going to occur as he makes his way down there is the soul cage to take the drive and will out of your target. And this is where the rest. It's just 2 miracles because these are massive miracle point costs. So he's
Right.
burning like
Just
100.
1 minute.
Yeah, he's
Stop.
right. He's
You can't use 2 at the same time.
well, like you can start it and then you can go, and then you don't have to wait till the duration. You
it's
can
like,
start it and then do it
oh,
again on the next round.
Shit.
Right.
Sorry, Marcel.
Yeah, I know. Nice. It's useful, right?
I will watch the conclusion to this, but I have to go.
Right. Well, I understand. Take care. Take care, Lorenzo.
yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the night.
Take care.
So ultimately, what this is going to do is to reduce all your skills by 10%, drop your spirit by 10, drop your attack and defense ratings by 4. So effectively speaking, you guys are going to be, helpless to resist getting seized by his compatriots. And the compatriots in there are, of course, dead people. But when they get you back up out of there, they're living people who have realized that he needs you. So, fortunately, he doesn't plan on skinning you or anything like that.
Right.
But you're not going anywhere.
Mhm.
Right. So yeah, he was pretty well primed for. I mean, the fact that you went into the pit, that was it. He's able. That's his ground, right?
Yes.
So after that,
Oh
I mean,
my
if you
God,
guys
yes.
would run off across the landscape, being able to go after you with a hurricane would have been a round by round thing. But I figure once you're in the pit, forget it. These geographies against you. So
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah. So in the case of Athasha, I don't want to make a roll for no reason or do anything kind of stupid or useless, but I do want you to, I want you to look up and down your skills to start thinking about what you can do. You do not have the spirit miracle set, so controlling and commanding the dead isn't the case. But on the other hand, if you're armed with a weapon of this symbolic power, you may indeed have skills that could help. I mean, do you have any like knowledge skills and things like that could make a difference?
Yeah. I actually have mythology and lore.
That's a good idea.
But it's not much. It's just what I picked up by basically talking and listening to for it.
Right. So is it a minor, just the beginning amount?
It's 31%. So
right, but that's not so bad. Let's take a look at. This is the magical knowledge, or
I think
this is the mythology.
Mythology. I tried to learn from Farid, and it's you who rolled.
Right, but I'm interested in its. I'm interested in its description, its skill description.
I can read that.
Yeah, I was just. Here we go. I got it. Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm interested in, failure. You know where I go now. Now that I know these rules better, this is where I go. What does failure mean? Failure means you could not see the truth in the midst of the myth. Oh, I remember Farith using this. Right.
So either I'm sure he's on the right path or I'm not.
Right.
I'm still doubtful.
So I will get my dice and roll for you. Ooh. Right. Okay. Now, how am I supposed to narrate this? It seems to you as though he's guessing. You're still, it sounds as though he's working up fairy tales into something that he has chosen to believe. Now, what's kind of fun is that I rolled for Ferrith too, I think. So you don't know whether he's right or not based on his roll. So either you made your roll and he didn't, or he made his roll and you didn't. We don't know, right? I know.
I don't have to know. I started
Right.
off by doubting, and I am probably just still doubting.
Right,
And I'm trying to figure out whether and how much I should help him and how much
Right.
I risk by
Right.
getting closer and closer to her.
Right. So the ideal thing, I was hoping to have the conversation with Zadev be simultaneous with a conversation with Sasiva. But given the glassmaking and the other interactions, it just seemed impossible to just port you straight home. It seemed much more straightforward that you guys would stay where you were a little while and plan a little bit, rearrange your relationships a little bit, and then move on. So I'm sorry to say that we didn't get very far with your group, with that sector of the characters, but I think that...
No, I think we are fine.
Yeah.
I think that's not bad.
Yeah. Well, thank
It's
you.
good, actually.
No, excellent. I will look forward to seeing you guys again.